You're listening to Business Podcasting Made Easy, the TV talk show formula where you get a roadmap to elevate your authority and expand your visibility with a TV talk show that you are proud of. You're listening on the IBGR network, episode 40 of 52. We are getting there. This episode is about from guest to host, wait a minute. From guest to host, how being a guest refines your hosting skills and expands your reach. Welcome to the show. I'm Donna Kunde, co-founder of the IBGR Network, global radio authority and podcast expert, and producer of more than 14,000 podcasts.
And I'm Declan Oceguera, TV producer and international TV talk show host, and my TV talk show formula has impacted over 100,000 lives globally and gives business owners and entrepreneurs a simple way to be seen and heard with their own purpose-driven message. And we are your hosts for this 13-week journey. So remember that you can easily follow the plan at tvtalkshowformula.com. And if you want direct live support from us for your TV talk show, then contact us today at tvtalkshowformula.info. I love saying that.
Yep. Amy
All
Porterfield, right. she's our lead-in for this one. I like Amy. Do you want to do the quote?
I shall.
Okay.
Amy says, guesting is an opportunity to showcase your expertise, build your personal brand, and connect with new audiences.
And what she doesn't say is it also allows you to practice.
Yes, which is what we really want to talk about.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, and I didn't know until I knew, guesting is, yes, that's a real word. It's like hosting, right? But we don't hear guesting as often. But I love that word, being a guest on other people's shows. So a way to become a person worth watching is by becoming a great guest, because having this experience refines your ability as a host to draw from your past experience as the guest. And you can also leverage your host's network to promote your show. See how it works.
Yeah, cyclical. It's like it's the networking world of this medium, right? We get that a lot. I get a lot of emails in my inbox about so and so wants to be a guest on this show, so and so wants to be a guest on this show. It's a very real thing.
Yeah. And as a host, guest is going to be one of the most frequent things you think about, whether you're booking guests for your show or you're being booked on other people's shows. And I say, I have the song in my head now. Thank you.
I didn't do it.
You didn't, but you are telepathically. You are. She sends music to my head, people. Being a guest is one of the most one of the smartest things. There's the word I was looking for. You can do now as you're getting your show off the ground, because you're already, in some of the action steps that we've given you is to start seeding that you have a show coming, right?
Yeah.
But that's just to your network, which is limited by however many people you have as friends or contacts, etc. Right? Size of your email list. There's a limited sphere, no matter how big it is. It's still it's a bubble, right? But when you start guesting on other people's network or shows, you're in their bubble, and this starts to shine a light over on you, and people start to come over and start checking you out, right? So there's that reason. So more visibility, but the other reason is the practice. So I firmly believe that in order to be a great host, you have to know how to be a great guest. One, because you get to observe how a host is hosting when you're the guest, and you're noticing that worked. I didn't like that. Ooh, that was good. Oh, that was awful. I won't do that. Right? You're developing a style. So as a host, you will have a style, right? And as a guest, you're also going to have a kind of style, a version of you, let's say, that shows up when you're in that zone of promoting who you are and what you do and what value you bring from that side of the table. And you only get good at these things by doing it.
Yeah.
So, That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Because in the military, it's all military. We talk about leadership, and that's my background. And we would
Yeah,
say that you learn from every leader. You learn what to do from the good leaders, and you learn exactly what not to do from the not so good leaders. And I think
right.
it's the same concept here, that
100%.
you can always be learning and to experience. I'm an experiential learner anyway, kinesthetic they call it.
Yeah.
But to be on the other side, the receiving end of someone, because I had that happen recently where I was a guest on a show, and
I saw it.
yeah, it was the weirdest interview I've ever done. It kept me rocked on my heels. I was like, right from the get go. So
Yes.
let's get the bios out of the way. Go ahead and introduce yourself. And I was like,
Uh,
you want me to introduce myself? Okay.
you,
It was,
yeah, you said that. That's
I
exactly what you
did.
said. But I have to say, so this is such a great example. I'm glad you brought this up, because that host, who I know you've been on his show before, and there's been and clearly, he's professional. Like, he had the
Mhm.
setup, you
Yep.
know. So it was interesting. But what it felt like for me was just in that moment, he wasn't in the three C's, right? He
No.
wasn't fully connected. It appeared distracted, like there were other things that were on his mind, right? And this is life, right? This
Yep.
happens. It happened, before we come and do this, there's other things on our minds, right? But we that's why we move into that, like remembering why we're here, the grounding, and remembering we're here for you, not worrying for these moments about the other things that are happening that we'll get to later, right? So this is all hosting and guesting skills, right? That we're still talking about. But there was a different place that he seemed to be until towards
Yes.
the end. He switched somehow. There was a switch. He finally, like, oh right, let's be interesting now. But you did a great job, I thought,
Oh, thanks.
being lobbed those like curveballs.
Hmm.
Um, introduce yourself. Like, that's what the host does, right?
Yeah. Let's
We
get the
say who
bios out of the way, I think was what was said. It was like,
you're like, oh, okay, thanks. Yes. And I felt on this side of it, though, even though in the mind it was probably like, oh my God, what is going on here? But you still were able to come across in a professional way. And you because you're seasoned at being a guest and a host, you were able to run with it and kind of host yourself for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah, thanks. But to your point, yes, I have been I've been a guest on this person's show several times,
Yeah.
and so there's a caution of familiarity, because the person. Don't as a host, it's the first time some of your listeners will ever listen, and so there's this repetition of, this is the model that I follow, these are the segments that I follow, and follow the
Yeah.
segments
Yeah.
for
Wow.
everyone involved, so that because I I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, and this is also why we're saying, to really start getting yourself out there, to find where you can be a guest on people's shows. And people who have shows, are their number one job, aside from promoting the show, is finding the right guest for their show.
Yeah.
If they're doing talk show, styles, right? So there's no lack of people out there who are looking for good, smart experts like you, who are watching this show, right? Who are interested in what you have to say, and you'll do the research to find who those people are. And when you allow in your brain, in your mind, to say, I want to be a guest on a show, it's surprising how all of a sudden you'll start to notice all the things out there where people are saying, hey, we're looking for guests, or
Yeah.
a friend of a friend. Like, things will start to come to you, but you just got to make that mental switch, open
Hmm.
yourself up to that's what you want. And you will notice things start to appear passively, but also you're going to do your active role in this and researching, right? And that's, Google's your friend, right? And we're
Hmm.
going to give you some resources, I think, too,
Yeah.
about that. So
And I would say, subscribe to the show at tvtalkshowformula.com. If you've missed an episode leading up to this, you can go back and re-listen. If you want live direct support from us for your TV talk show, tvtalkshowformula.info is the way to go. Declan, you're right. You're saying that these will show up. This will be there for you. but if you want that extra, 3 C's, confidence, if you want that extra confidence, we're here, tvtalkshowformula.info. In preparing though, what do they need to do to prepare? Because this might be one of the reasons to give us a call.
One of the many. Yes. So yes, yay, I want to be a guest. Well, there's some things you need to have in place because you will be asked for them immediately. You want to have a bio, and this is usually you'll be asked for a short bio, which tends to mean 50 to 100 words, right? So, and that, it actually takes more work to make a short bio than a long bio. So you want to make sure you have, I would keep it to 50, quite frankly, because that's a common number for word count. A headshot. Make sure you have a photo that you look great in, that you want to see on social media, because it will get used to promote your episode, right? If you don't have that, get one. Have someone take a great picture of you, it's pretty easy because our cameras are so great these days, but make sure you have a nice headshot.
And a good background.
Yes. And have you want to make a list of your key topics. So when you're a guest on someone's show, what are the 5 to 10 things that you can speak about if you could say the word, effortlessly. Say that 10 times fast. 5 to 10 key topics, because some formats, some hosts will ask you for this, especially if they don't know who you are, right? They may even ask you to write your own questions, right, in which will come out of your key topics. So if you have to write questions, they're going to be related to your 5 to 10 key topics that you can talk about in your sleep, with conviction, with passion, from your place of expertise, right? And so this is the word one sheet. A speaker one sheet will have all of these elements. So sometimes you'll be asked, send me your speaker one sheet, right? Which would mean, at a minimum, bio, headshot, 5 to 10 topics. In the future, you may start to have testimonials about what a great speaker you are on someone else's show, or links to you on other people's shows.
Yep. So we're going to wrap this one up here, though. Do this now. Get booked as a guest on at least 3 different shows, podcasts, TV shows. However, use the proper booking sites. If you're not sure where to go, popular ones, there are some out there. We're happy to help. We're here for you. This is the time. Rubber meets the road. Go do it. Get booked. This is wrapping up episode 40, guest to host with Donna and Declan. Thanks for listening. Bye.